Hey, what's up guys, it's Texmer talking to you here. And today I want to talk about the Apple Watch Series 8 lineup that is coming in September. And yes, this is a very strange topic to be talking about, I don't know, maybe 8 to 9 months away from this Apple Watch, but rumors have come out and I think a lot of YouTubers now have creating a new type of idea of this Apple Watch Series 8 lineup. We will have 3 models according to Ming-Chi Kuo and Mark Gurman. Mark Gurman being one of the most reliable Apple leakers yet. And so, in this video, I will talk about how can Apple formulate this new lineup of Apple Watches and how is the Apple Watch lineup evolving throughout the years. And why, in my opinion, I consider this Apple Watch evolution very similar to the iPhone lineup evolution a few years back. And I can remember like this exact moment when Apple separated the lineup into more and diversified the lineup into more models and creating this type of diversification coming from one Apple Watch available to more Apple Watches available, just like Apple did with the iPhone, starting with only launching one iPhone a year to 2 and then 3 and now 4. And so I think that Apple will branch into new parts of the market as the Apple Watch market matures. And in this video, I will talk about how will Apple call the Apple Watches, how will they do it, their strategy, and what features are coming. And if you are excited, don't forget to leave a like, drop on this video, subscribe to my channel, and of course, comment down below what's your opinion, what's your favorite Apple Watch on this video, and will you get an Apple Watch Series 8 or any of those other models, or will you stick with your older Apple Watch? Let me know in the comments below. But before I talk about even more, let's get started. The Apple Watch Series 8 will come out in September together with the iPhone 14s, but I don't believe it will be a redesign as the iPhone 14 will be. I believe that Apple will be sticking to their Apple Watch Series 7 design, but will be adding a ton of new features, which are glucose, temperature monitoring, and a new health sensor, which will enable all of these types of stuff like body temperature and glucose and alcohol and all of those types of measurements that Apple wants to measure on your devices. So I think that Apple, by adding these, will turn the Apple Watch even more into a health-focused device. But of course, the Apple Watch will evolve in this line, but it won't make a lot of people upgrade because people don't care about those stuff. That's needs to have, but that's not the main thing. Of course, Apple could add a little bit more battery, but by using the same case, I don't believe they will do it. So how can Apple iterate on the Apple Watch Series 8 to make more people upgrade from the Apple Watch Series 7, which was a redesign and it wasn't the best seller? So I think that Apple will solve this issue like they solved with the iPhone back then. Apple launched the iPhone only being one model, and for the first few years that was the best formula. Then the iPhone market matured. A lot of people had iPhones, and so there's no much incentive for them to upgrade because their iPhone was very good. So what Apple did was try to reach new parts of this market in the smartphone market, creating a cheaper model calling the iPhone 5C and then the iPhone SE. Apple did that, creating these two cheap models and trying to sell like older types of designs and parts and using all of those to create a cheaper model to sell to that people. Those people then bought that model and Apple could grow again in their market share and the sales of iPhones gone up again. Then that's how Apple survived the first phase of stagnation for the iPhone. Then they released and divided their lineup into 2 phones, the Pro model and the normal model. The normal model, and as we've seen today, it's geared towards the average consumer. It has the same overall features as the Pro model, but it lacks in the most important parts and the more expensive parts that tech guys only care about, like 120 Hz, the 3 camera array like the telephoto, and the ultra premium design. And so by Apple compromising on these 3 aspects of the product, they can get the product cheaper and into more people's hands. But by calling this product the iPhone 14 or iPhone 13, people think that they are buying the new iPhone, not the cheaper version. Then we have the iPhone Pro or the iPhone 11 Pro, 12 Pro, 13 Pro. This phone was created by Apple so they could put everything they could on an iPhone and make it the best that they can. So the price point goes up for the best iPhone ever. But Apple can sell that iPhone for more, justifying that it's the Pro model. And then only the Pro people will buy it, the people that want to spend a little bit more on the iPhone. And In that way, they don't cannibalize the sales from the normal model, and everyone who wants the better model and really cares about stainless steel, the third camera or promotion can spend more money, and Apple can make even more money on the Pro models. And that's how Apple saved the iPhone lineup. They branched into different types of market, creating 3 different types of iPhones: the SE, the normal, and the Pro models. Those are geared towards 3 types of markets: the cheaper and less evolved market, the mid-range market and mid to high range with the iPhone 13s and 14s, and then the higher end market and the prosumer market, which is the iPhone Pros. These types of markets go around for $1,000 to $1,500 with the foldables, the S21 Ultras, and all of those phones. Of course, Apple doing this saved the iPhone, like I told you. And now I'm starting to see the strategy and the same strategy being applied to the Apple Watch lineup. When the Apple Watch Series 6 was launched last year, we thought that Apple creating the Apple Watch SE was kind of strange. But at the time, I wasn't thinking about it. But then I just remember that the Apple Watch SE was using the same design as the Apple Watch Series 5. This is kind of strange, isn't it? So the Apple Watch Series 5 had the always-on display, but the Apple Watch SE didn't. And so Apple considered the always-on display a Pro feature. Then they created these 2 devices, the Apple Watch Series 6 and the Apple Watch SE. The Apple Watch SE was a cheaper type of the Apple Watch, just like the iPhone SE was and the iPhone 5C and then XR was. So Apple, they just simply created a cheaper type of device, like they did first on the iPhone. Then, now, there's leaks brewing that Apple will create an Apple Watch Series 8 Pro. The Apple Watch Series 8 Pro will have a ton of new features, even more than the Apple Watch Series 8. It will have the same base features as the Apple Watch Series 8, but then it will have a new design, an even better design, premium design. It will have a new material, like the iPhones Pro have. It will be titanium. And then they will have, of course, a rugged type of design with a flat glass, saying that it's going to be more durable. It will have even more battery life because this squared off design will enable better and bigger battery inside, just like the MacBook Pros did when they went for a squared off design, less tapered like the Apple Watch. And this enabled Apple to put even more batteries inside of the MacBook, just like they will do it on this Apple Watch S8 Pro. Of course, if they do it, then this means that Apple will increase the price point for the best Apple Watch ever, just like they did with the iPhone. By doing this, they will create 3 models on the lineup: the Apple Watch SE, the Apple Watch Series 8, and the Apple Watch S8 Pro or Series 8 Pro. This will mean that now people that want the best Apple Watch ever, they will have to pay more. Before, they didn't. They could just buy the $400 option and get the same Apple Watch as the $800 option. But now you will have to buy the most expensive model if you want the best Apple Watch ever. And of course, Apple can upsell you on those features because they will say, oh, it has a better processor, or even, oh, it has a better design, it's more durable, it has way better battery life. Instead of just 10 hours, it will have 24. It's going to be even better in terms of waterproofing. It will be even better and more resistant when you're going to do outdoor sports. And so it will have a new design which will captivate people, and so people will think maybe this is the best Apple Watch, and everyone who wants to buy the Apple Watch will have to pay $800 or $700. And now Apple has created 3 types of devices and has approached the mature Apple Watch market in a very different way. This is kind of neat, and if you look at it, it's the same strategy as the iPhone, and Apple has implemented that on the iPhones a while back, and look how it works. It works very well. Apple has been increasing the sales of the iPhone in the last couple of years, while the iPhone 12 lineup was the best-selling iPhone in a while, and the iPhone 13 did very, very well too, and right now it's still doing very, very well. And so I think that this strategy will also work for the Apple Watch, and I couldn't be more excited. For me, I'm looking to buy an Apple Watch Series 8 Pro in September, if that comes out, or if that's the name, or even the Apple Watch Extreme, I don't know. But I think that Apple will do it. And this is their strategy, and they are very linear with their strategies. And that's why I think that they will apply the same strategy as the iPhone they did back then to the Apple Watch right now. So the SE will have the same design as the Apple Watch Series 6, that had that curved-like design with the screen which doesn't have the perfect bezels like the S7. It will have probably the S6 chip. It will have the same sensor as the Apple Watch Series 8, and it will have some base features that the Apple Watch Series 8 and 8 Pro will have, but it will lack always on display and the better battery and newer design, and even the no bezel treatment that the Apple Watch Series 7 got. So I do believe that Apple will differentiate and part this Apple Watch lineup in three, with the Apple Watch SE being the cheaper model, starting at $279, the Apple Watch Series 8 being the normal model, starting at $399, and then the Apple Watch 8 Pro or Series 8 Pro starting at $799 or $699. This Apple Watch will have two different sizes when compared to the Apple Watch S8. The S8 will have the normal 41 and 45 millimeter option that we are used to from the Apple Watch Series 7. The Apple Watch SE will have the 40 and 44 millimeter option from the Apple Watch Series 6, and the Apple Watch S8 Pro, has it been rumored by Ross Young, will have a bigger display, probably a 42 and a 46 millimeter option. So it will have an even bigger display because of the flat design from the screen, like the iPhone 12's got. It will enable it to have an even bigger screen, because you know the iPhone 12 Pro Max had a bigger screen than the iPhone 11 Pro Max, not because it increased in size and volume, but it went for a flat design, which enabled the pixels from the OLED display to spread a bit more and to create an even bigger display by about 0.2 inches. But on the Apple Watch, it will be probably about a millimeter bigger. So in my opinion, I'm very excited for these Apple Watches, and if you tell me that this is likely for Apple, I do believe so. I think that Apple will mature the Apple Watch lineup in the same way they did with the iPhone lineup, and so creating these three options for very different users and consumers will enable Apple to reach more different types of the market and to approach the market in a very different way, creating and evolving the Apple Watch into a more mature product, which will of course stale in sales, but by doing this they will diminish these types of, because you can't fight the market. There's almost every iPhone user now has an Apple Watch, and so if you have to approach the market in a very different way to try to sell more Apple Watches, then that's the strategy I think that Apple should take by creating three models: a Pro model, a normal model, and a cheaper model, which is the SE, just like they have on their current Apple Watch and iPhone, on their current iPhone lineup and Mac lineup too. So I think that this is very, very good. Of course, if you see to other Apple products like the iPad, the Mac, and the iPhone, you will see this type of evolution in their lineups. The iPad, the iPhone, and the Mac, all of those mature markets and products have had this evolution. And so I do believe that this will be the treatment that Apple will give the Apple Watch. But what are your thoughts on this? Which Apple Watch will you get? The Apple Watch SE, the Apple Watch Series 8, or the Apple Watch Series 8 Pro? Which are you more excited for? One of these three Apple Watches? Will you pay the extra price for the Apple Watch Series Pro? Or will you pay less and go for the Apple Watch SE? Or even just pay for the middle, for the best price for dollar, which is of course the Apple Watch Series 8, just like the iPhone 13 is. Well, tell me in the comments down below what are your options and your opinions on this theory, and of course don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and follow my social networks, Twitter and Instagram. This was TechSumer talking to you here. Bye.